Yo, what's up, Knicks fans? You're watching New York Knicks Now by Chat Sports. I'm your host, Marshall Green. In today's show, I'm going to be answering your guys' questions, which came from our live show. Subscribe and turn your notifications on, because we only answer subscribers' questions, and you're only going to be able to join the live show if you have your notifications on. So do that right now, because my guy Marvin Daniels, he's a subscriber, he's a real one, and I know he's got his noties on. He said, when we get Mitchell in the trade, who are you picking to take a last-second shot? Evan, Mitchell, or RJ? Well, it's not going to be Evan Fournier. If I have RJ Barrett and Donovan Mitchell on this team, I'm not going to rely on a guy like Evan Fournier to make a game-winning shot. I would put Jalen Brunson up there as well. The beautiful part about this team, if you have Brunson, Mitchell, and RJ Barrett, who's ever open and whoever has the best shot, I believe in those guys to take it. They're all clutch players. They all rise. When the game is on the line, Brunson plays his best. RJ Barrett plays his best, and so does Donovan Mitchell. I trust all of them to make the shot. Any of them that are open, I'm down with it. But if I had to power rank it, I would honestly go Donovan Mitchell, RJ Barrett, then Jalen Brunson. I just think RJ's got that dog in him to knock down a game winner like he did against the Boston Celtics. Marvin, shout out to you, bro. Another real one coming in, Arrow Man Pro Rican. What up, my guy? He said, if we get Donovan, will the Knicks be a more attractive team for other stars or superstars to demand? Absolutely. Stars attract stars. This is a star league, and we're in an era of player control and player movement. Great players nowadays want to play with other great players. And if you have a roster of RJ Barrett, Jalen Brunson, Donovan Mitchell, and Mitchell Robinson as your core four, that is very attractive for, let's say, a small forward or a power forward to come along and play on that team. Stars want to play with stars. Getting Jalen Brunson was the first step. Now you have RJ Barrett going into year 4. Can he become an all-star level player? I love RJ. If you know this show, watch this show. I believe he can. And then you got Mitchell. Mitchell, Brunson, Barrett. That is a threesome. Pause. That is going to attract a lot of stars to New York. Fabian Williams, what up, bro? He said, how about a New York Knicks, Boston, Brooklyn trade? Knicks get Jaylen Brown, Boston gets KD, and the Nets get Randle, Reddish, Smart, White, and picks. I think the Nets hang up in your face. I don't think you're getting enough back for a guy like Kevin Durant. It'd have to be like 6, 7, 8 first-round picks. I love Jaylen Brown. I think the trade rumors were blown out of proportion a little bit. They kind of got walked back by the Boston Celtics. I only think Jaylen Brown is available in a trade if the Celtics are going to get Kevin Durant in return. I like the idea of it on paper. I'd love to see Jaylen Brown with the Knicks. I just don't know if Brooklyn would be cool with getting Julius Randle, Cam Reddish, Marcus Smart, White, and picks in return for a guy like Kevin Durant. I think if they trade Kevin Durant and he goes to Boston, they're going to want Jaylen Brown. That's what a smart organization would do. But hey, it is the Brooklyn Nets. You could type FBKN if you want to in the comment section. Greg, what up, fam? He said, Knicks need to get Donovan Mitchell. Basketball is better when the New York Knicks are good. Yes, it is. Basketball. The NBA is a better league when the Knicks are good. They play on Christmas, and they're not all that good. They're going to be on opening night, and they're not all that good. They're the number one most expensive franchise in the NBA, and we have one playoff series win since 2002, 2001. It's been a while. This team is the face of the NBA, in my opinion, and if they ever get good, watch out, because Knicks fans are going to come out of the woodworks. But remember, you've been around forever, and you're a real one. So don't fall to the fake Knicks fans out there. But I want to ask you this question, Greg, and everybody watching the show. Is Donovan Mitchell a top 15 player in the NBA? Do you think he's a guy that can be the number one on a team? Is he a top 15 player in the NBA? Type Y for yes, type N for no. I'm curious what all the Knicks Now real ones think. Let me know in the comments. Monte, he's a real one. He tunes in every single week. He says, I think RJ has his best season this year. I'm right there with you, man. Year 4, RJ is going to be a movie. The development has been crazy. In the final 42 games of the season this past year, RJ Barrett averaged 23.5 points per game. I don't think he's going to average that many points with Jalen Brunson, especially if you get Donovan Mitchell on this team. But it's not the points per game that I'm more so worried about with a guy like RJ Barrett. It's the efficiency. Shot 41.5% from the deck and like 34% from three. I want to see him get closer to 45% from the field and closer to 38% from three. And I think with having a point guard and Jalen Brunson that's going to set the table and get guys involved and get them the ball in their spots where they're most effective, RJ Barrett is going to be a beneficiary of that, and I could easily see him having his best year of his NBA career this year. Monte, salute to you, bro. You're a real one. Errol, what up, man? He said, I think the Knicks are waiting for the players in the Minnesota-Utah trade to be available to enhance the trade package, whether it includes LA or Utah. Yeah, so the players that went from Minnesota to the Utah Jazz, I don't think they could be traded to early September. You got to be on a team 2 months before you can get traded. I've seen this rumor out there a lot. Beasley could be in the trade, maybe Vanderbilt, maybe a guy like Patrick Beverley. So that could be a holdup for sure. But you could agree to the framework of the deal before it becomes actually set in stone. So they could have agreed on the framework and it not been official until those players were to be available. But it could be a holdup. I could see it. Inevitably, I think this deal gets done. Both sides have what each other wants. So, Earl, I think you're on the right track there. Nice Mellow 007 says, I'm not worried. Knicks have the best wholesale. Yes, they do. We will land Mitchell. Jazz, no, we are the gold mine. 100%, no doubt about it. No team can offer what we can with 8 tradable first-round picks over the next 7 years. We also have young players that they're interested in, Obi, Grimes, and Emmanuel Quickly. They want Derrick Rose, someone that's on a $14 million expiring deal. Cam Reddish is also on a $5 million expiring deal. There's no doubt about it that Knicks have the best offer because the Knicks gave the Jazz an offer and the Jazz said we're going to go shop around and if we find a better deal, we're going to do it. Deal hasn't been done, which means that there's no offer better out there for the New York Knicks. I want to ask you guys this question though. If the Knicks land Donovan Mitchell, what are they? Let's say the starting lineup is Brunson, Barrett, Mitchell, Obi and Mitchell Robinson. Let's say that is the starting 5. What are the Knicks? Type 1 for playoff, type 2 for play-in. Are they a playoff team? Are they play-in team? Let me know what you think. If the Knicks get Donovan Mitchell, are they a playoff or a play-in team? Let me know in the comments down below. Marvin, he said, when we get Mitchell, what is the best place to trade Randle besides the Lakers? I don't necessarily think there's an opportune place for Julius Randle in a trade. I think the best spot is the Los Angeles Lakers. He has ties there, started his career there. If I had to say another team, maybe the Charlotte Hornets. They could use a power forward after that shit-face did what he did and got himself kicked out of the NBA. I'm not going to say his name on this show, but you know who I'm talking about. Maybe they need a power forward after that. But I really think if there was a team that really wanted Julius Randle out there, the Knicks would have traded him, but they're not going to sell him for pennies on the dollar. They're going to want a lot of value for him unless they trade for Donovan Mitchell. Then they'll look for a salary dump where they can trade for Russell Westbrook and then buy him out. I really see. The Kings, because it's the Kings and they're stupid and it's the Kings. Maybe that, I don't know. Who'd you say? Trailblazers. I thought that could have been more of an opportunity before Jeremy Grant got traded there, but I'd go with the Lakers and the Hornets, and then after that, kind of a crapshoot. Webb, my guy, a real one. He said, Obi, 20 and 10 with proper minutes, plus he will bring excitement to the Garden. If Obi's going to average 20 and 10, he's going to have to start and play about 35 minutes per game. I'm not worried about the 20. I'm worried about the 10. He's not an elite rebounder. He's not a bad rebounder. But if Obi Toppin is, say, the starter at the 4 spot next to Brunson, Barrett, Mitchell, and Mitchell Robinson, can he give you 12 points per game, 8 rebounds, and shoot 50+% from the field and 35% from downtown? Get a steal, get a block, push the pace, get easy buckets. I think that's what you're looking for with Obi. I'm all in on Obi Toppin. I think he's going to be a great player. But we have to realize he is 24 years old. Donovan Mitchell's 25. He's not going to be the holdup in a trade for me. I used to think that way. But you know what? I want Quentin Grimes on this team instead of Obi Toppin. And that hurts me to say because I do love me some Obi Toppin. If you haven't yet, go down right now, hit that big red button. We just crossed over 12,000 subscribers on the channel. 13K, we're coming for you. Let's do it for Mark Jackson. Hit that big red button. Go down, hit it. Yeah, that thing right there, you hitting that? You hitting that? Yeah, you hitting that. Hit that big red button. Let's get to 13,000 subscribers. Marvin Daniels says, wins with Mitchell, over under 42. Right now, the win total in Las Vegas is 39.5. And I think Donovan Mitchell is worth 2.5 wins for sure. So I would say over 42 wins. I think you could push for 46, 47 wins if you trade for Donovan Mitchell. You won 37 games last year, and that's with Evan Fournier and Alec Burks as your 1 and 2. You replace him with Jalen Brunson and Donovan Mitchell, I think that gets you 10 more wins. I think 42 over all day. I'll take that to the bank. Let's ride. Jaden, what's good? He said, would you extend RJ if he significantly regresses this season? Yeah, I would, because he's still just 22 years old. Would it affect how much he's worth? No doubt about it. I wouldn't pay him the max contract. I'm already kind of hesitant to pay him that 5 years, $180 million. But I mean, I'm sure he wants the max, and he's going to come out there and perform like it and play like it. RJ Barrett has a chip on his shoulder. He wants to secure that bag. He's done things in the NBA that a lot of other people at the age of 21 haven't. I'm all in on RJ. Type 9 in the comments section to show RJ Barrett some love. If he plays bad, I'd still extend him. It'd just be at a much cheaper rate, but I don't think that's going to happen. I think he's going to go out this year, and like the kids say, he's going to secure the bag. Last question on this sack. Shout out to my guy Kirill. I think I said that right. Obi plus Jaylen might be fun. Thoughts on Melo coming and starting? Possible. I only think the Knicks sign Carmelo Anthony if they trade for Donovan Mitchell. I don't really think there's a spot on this roster if they don't trade for Donovan Mitchell, because you're already 13 deep on this roster, and you kind of have a logjam of wings at off the bench. You're going to have to deal with Fournier, Reddish, and Grimes. Two of those guys are going to come off the bench. Then you got Obi Toppin and Mitchell Robinson and Hartenstein. Like, there's a lot of numbers on this team. I think if you trade for Donovan Mitchell, then for sure Carmelo Anthony is an option. But if you don't, I don't think it is. No doubt about it. But Kirill, I appreciate your question. You're a real one. And if you made it this far in the video, I want you to type real one in the comment section, because all the real ones finish every single video. So if you're a real one, you right there. Yeah, you right there. If you're a real one, drop a real one in the comments right now.